The night was quiet, too quiet. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. The clock glowed in the dark. 3:06 a.m. A cold breeze whispered through the slightly open window. I shivered, pulling the blanket closer. Then I heard it, the sharp chime of the doorbell. 3:07 a.m. My heart skipped a beat. I sat upright, straining to hear anything else. Nothing. The house felt empty. The shadows seemed to crawl along the walls. I told myself it was just a dream. But the sound echoed in my mind. Too real. I got out of bed. My feet touched the cold wooden floor. I walked slowly to the living room. The door was closed. No one was there. The porch light flickered. I looked around. Nothing moved. I checked the security camera. It showed only darkness. No figure. No movement. The next night came. I tried to sleep earlier. I told myself to ignore it. 3:07 a.m. The bell rang again, louder this time. It felt like it shook the walls. I ran to the door. My hands trembled as I turned the knob. No one. Only a small package lay on the doorstep. No name. No return address. I opened it. Inside was a single photograph. It showed me sleeping. The photograph was from the night before. From inside my own bedroom. I dropped it. Fear gripped me like ice. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding. I called the police. They searched the house. Found nothing. The nights continued. Every night. 3:07 a.m. The bell rang. Each time, the sound grew louder. More urgent. I could not ignore it. One night, I waited. I hid near the window. I held a flashlight and a bat. My breath came in short, sharp gasps. 3:07 a.m. The bell rang. Then I saw movement on the porch. A shadow. Tall. Thin. It did not move like a normal person. It glided. Silently. The shadow paused. Then a hand reached for the door. A long, pale hand. I froze. Every nerve screamed. The wind stopped. Time felt slower. The shadow knocked on the door instead. One slow, deliberate knock. 3:08 a.m. I blinked. Then the shadow vanished. The doorbell rang again. Inside the house. Not outside. I turned around. Alone in the living room. The bell continued ringing. I walked toward the sound. It led me to the basement. I did not have a basement. The light flickered as I opened the door. Cold air rushed out. A whisper called my name. I stepped inside. The doorbell rang. 3:07 a.m. I stepped into the basement. The air was icy. It smelled of damp wood and rust. The flashlight shook in my hand. Its beam trembled across the walls. Nothing moved, yet I felt eyes on me. The whisper grew louder, soft at first, then clearer. It was my name, not a voice I recognized. It was hollow, empty. I tried to run back upstairs. The door slammed shut on its own. I banged on it, yelling. No answer. Then I noticed something on the floor. Footprints. Not human. Too long. Too thin. They glowed faintly in the flashlight beam. I followed them. The steps led to the far corner, where the wall seemed to pulse. I reached out. The wall felt wet, breathing, alive. A hand shot out, cold and skeletal. It grabbed my wrist. I screamed. Pain shot up my arm. I kicked and twisted. The hand released me. I stumbled backward. The flashlight fell. The basement went black. The whisper returned. Now it was all around me, calling my name over and over. Faster. Louder. I ran blindly, tripping over crates and old furniture. The cold air turned into ice. It burned my lungs. Then I saw it, a figure in the corner. Tall, featureless, shadowed. Its eyes were hollow pits of darkness. I froze. The figure did not move. Yet I knew it was watching. I tried to speak. My voice failed. My throat was tight. The whisper turned into a scream. The figure lifted a hand, pointed at me. The basement doors slammed shut. The lights flickered on. The doorbell rang. 3:07 a.m. I realized then the truth. The bell was not outside. It was inside. It followed me. Every night. I backed into the corner. The figure glided closer. The whispers now sounded like hundreds of voices. All my fears, all my regrets, all my secrets, they were speaking to me. I tried to shut my eyes, cover my ears, The figure moved faster. I could hear its footsteps, though it did not touch the floor. Then, suddenly, silence. The bell stopped. The whispering ceased. Even my own heartbeat seemed muted. I opened my eyes. The figure was gone. The basement door was open. Daylight had not yet come, yet I could see faint light spilling in from the living room. I ran upstairs, locked every door, checked every window. Nothing. The nights continued. 3:07 a.m. Every night, the bell rang. I moved houses, changed cities, tried to start over, but it followed me. I could hear it in hotels, even in crowded streets. It was always there, ringing at 3:07 a.m. I sought help. Psychics, mediums, priests. Nothing worked. The shadow was patient. The whispers never stopped. Then one night, I made a mistake. I answered the door. No one was there, yet I felt a hand brush my shoulder. Cold, heavy, binding. The doorbell rang again. 3:07 a.m. This time, I did not hide. I faced it. A voice whispered in my ear. Closer than ever. It was not hollow now. It was mine. It said, "You cannot leave. You invited me." The lights flickered. The walls bled shadows. The house shook. The bell rang once more. 3:07 a.m. I realized then the horror. It was not just the bell. It was me. I had become the bell. Every night, every home I entered, it would follow. Ring, call, haunt. No door could stop it. No lock could hold it. The figure waited patiently, always waiting, and the sound, my sound, echoed through the silence. 3:07 a.m. Even now, writing this, I hear it faintly. From somewhere far away, or perhaps inside my own mind. The doorbell will ring. 3:07 a.m. Every night, and I cannot escape. The nights grew quieter. Not because the bell had stopped, but because I stopped answering it. I learned to wait it out. To hide. To breathe slowly as the minutes ticked toward 3:07 a.m. The shadow never left. It lingered at the edges of my vision. I felt its presence in every room. One night, I sat in the living room. The clock glowed 3:06 a.m. I did not move. I did not look. 3:07 a.m. The bell rang, softly this time, almost hesitant. I held my breath. The whispers began, but I did not flinch. Minutes passed. The bell fell silent. The whispers faded. The shadow remained, still watching, still waiting. I realized then something important. It could not enter my life without my fear. It fed on panic, on dread. I stood slowly, walking past the shadow. I touched the door, opened it. Outside, nothing stirred. No figure, no wind, only stillness. I stepped outside. The night air was calm. The stars above were steady. The world was ordinary again. The doorbell would ring. I knew it, perhaps forever, but I no longer ran. I no longer panicked. I had learned to coexist with it, to live with the sound and the shadow, to understand that some horrors cannot be destroyed, only accepted. From that night onward, 3:07 a.m. became a quiet reminder. A moment to pause, a moment to breathe, a moment to confront what I could not control. The doorbell still rings, every night, but now, I listen calmly, knowing fear no longer owns me. I close my eyes, and for the first time, I sleep through 3:07 a.m. The shadow waits, the bell waits, but I am finally at peace.